Hello, and welcome to another episode of our Last of Us Rewatch podcast. I'm Phil,
I'm Joe.
because I didn't remember, well, we didn't remember until like 75% of the way last time. Up front, spoilers for episode
Spoilers.
four. What are we on? Five? We're on the five, right?
Spoil it. Phil, spoilers for everything. Everything up until the end of season one and everything up until the end of the first video game. Now, no spoilers for anything in season two. I haven't even watched the trailer. So, no spoilers. I don't want to know who's in it. I don't want to know who's important. I don't want to know if Joel's mustache is any different. Can you imagine if he changed it every season? Like, I mean, I guess he doesn't really have a mustache. It's just Pedro Pascal's face.
Yeah, it's his facial hair. Just
In the
like,
game, he doesn't have like a mustache.
I mean, it's more of a beard. Like
It's a
it's a whole thing.
full beard. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if Joel was shaving it every city. He's like, we got to fill up on gas, and I got to shave a little Wolverine stripe here.
Do you, like, so we've talked about it a little bit, and they mentioned in the last episode about the gasoline being kind of scarce and like how it's breaking down or whatnot. Like, how do you think like stuff like that is like shaving cream, like soap, shampoo?
Sure. Razors, because none of that stuff is being produced anymore. I think you can get away without shaving cream or soap as long as you have water, right?
Oh,
But it's true. People aren't. There's not people making gasoline. There's not people making soap. I mean, there might be. I don't know.
you could
If
make soap. I don't know that you can make shaving cream. Like, I feel like shaving cream is like a more like in the history of the world, like a more recent invention than like soap is.
Yeah, but it's true. We don't see people doing that. We see people looting,
Yeah.
um, but no one's creating new things. There's except for maybe farms, except strawberries. The only product I've seen a new business is a strawberry farm, and it was only like 5x5.
Yeah.
It's
But you gotta
small.
start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. And how did he? Like, we're going back 2 episodes now, but how did he do that as a surprise? Like, how did he keep that a secret? Was it at someone else's house?
My
Like,
my 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 headcanon is that Frank had planted these strawberries, and Bill walked by it every single day and never
every
noticed it.
day.
Every
Yeah,
single day.
every single day. He's because you know what? He's a man on a mission. He doesn't have time to look left or look right. He's not like Detective Joel, where every room he goes into, he knows what's up. He's in his own world. You know what? He's gotten sloppy, and do you know why he's gotten sloppy?
Because of the
The
fence.
fence. Yep.
Yeah.
The fence. Ah. Would we all live? Would we all be so lucky to live in a world where we are protected by fence? All right. This is episode 5. It's called
Endure and
Evolve
survive.
and Survive. Endure and Survive. Evolve and Survive is maybe better. I'm glad they addressed that in the episode, but we have Henry and Joel at one point out that Endure and Survive is kind of meh.
Yeah. It's it's not great. Well, like so this is at the end of the, well, no, it's actually kind of towards the middle of it, but like Endure and Survive is from the in-universe comic that Ellie is reading. And you can, it actually is, I think it is collectible in the game where you can pick up various issues. You don't get to
Oh,
read
right.
through them, but you're like, oh, I don't have this issue yet. I'm just gonna put it in my backpack.
She and Sam have a huge bonding moment over the comics, and she almost immediately says, "Oh, which issues do you have?" And I can't believe how many they have, and that they're collecting comics. Like, here's my backpack; it's filled with all my worldly belongings, and I've got issue 5, 7, 9. Like, yeah, it's. I mean, it's great that kids are still collecting comics, but I was shocked that it's something she would take with her.
Yeah,
But
like it's nice to see as people who grew up collecting comics, buying comics like every week, that like that out of everything has
everything.
survived the apocalypse.
Cockroaches, Chef Boyardee, and comics.
Yes.
And back issue bins. um, Comics do make sense for apocalypse, where schools aren't readily available in the same sort of way. comics are a great way
Yeah,
for kids to learn to read, and kids that can't read, you can still understand what's going on.
but even like as a form of entertainment, like
Sure.
it is low barrier to entry because like it is a physical thing that you can carry around with you. It's not like a TV show that needs to be produced that needs electricity or a movie which
That's
needs the same
true.
basically.
That's true.
Like theater, like I mean, I guess a book, but there's no pictures in books.
A book. Ugh.
Ugh.
What does the guy even look like?
Unless they're fun books, then it's all good.
At dinner tonight, I said the one about uh, diarrhea being hereditary,
Yeah.
and my kids looked at me like boo. But my wife laughed, so it was a victory. This episode, Endure and Survive, it opens with a party. Where in
Yeah.
the past, the revolution has won. Kansas City is free. Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas. No one knows for sure. I kept wanting to like look on the back of license plates to see if I could narrow it down, but I wasn't going to do that much homework. But they're free. This is a flashback to the night that they retake the city or take
Yeah.
it for the first time from Fedra. Um, and Kathleen is wasting no time. She's right away. Let's go get Henry and his brother Sam. And we see them now hiding in the city, doing their thing. And we learn that Sam is deaf. Was you said both of these characters are in the game, right?
Yeah. So Henry and Sam are both in the game. The difference is, well, Sam is not deaf in the game, and is a little bit older. So like Ellie and Sam are closer in age in the game. Like I think Sam is still younger than Ellie is, but like they're much closer in age as opposed to they in the show.
Okay, that's interesting. I was watching the after the episode talk back, whatever they call it, and they mentioned the sign language. Like only they're the only two that are speaking it, so it's like just bonds them even tighter, and it was
Yeah.
a cool touch. And those both those actors did a crazy good job. It was really good. All right, we have a focused scene on Kathleen. She's addressing a room of traitors. We find out stuff we already knew. Her brother's dead. She wants to know why. We find out that these people sold her out or sold him out for things like medicine, alcohol, and apples. Would you turn someone in to the cops for apples?
Not for apples. I mean, maybe some of the other stuff, but like not apples.
I mean,
I'm
what?
not a huge
Maybe
fan
it's
of apples, so
okay. All right. Oranges,
I mean maybe oranges because I love oranges.
maybe. I know, like we've been friends forever, so I know if they came to you with a pecan pie, you'd be all like, "He's over there."
Leave you to him. I have another slice.
Kathleen's in a weird. She's very strange in this episode. I feel like she didn't care anymore. Like there's no bargaining. There's no nothing. Everyone's gonna die. Like tell me what I need to know, or you're gonna die. And even if you tell me, you're gonna die anyway, sort of thing. Um,
Yeah.
and I think later on in the episode, it becomes worse. Like in the final scene, Kathleen loses me. Like they played they played her up as this sort of character with a reason for being angry, but I think she crosses a line at the end. But we'll get there.
Well, I think like I don't know because I like thinking about her being like a revolutionary. We find out that it was her brother who started everything, or was the leader, and like she kind of inherited it. Um, and so like it's not something that she ever wanted to do, but she had to do it anyway. But then like her losing her brother and like how must it feel to like to lead a revolution like this and then win, and then you're like, was that it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because like really, what like they're free, quote unquote, but like they're not necessarily like what's the next day look like, basically? Because like whenever these things kind of happen, like uh you think about like everything leading up to the point you're free, and then like you are free, and then what?
Right. But I mean, for her, the next minute is still like not even the next day. Like, what's her next day like? Her next minute is going after the people that did her wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
and
at the same time, she's a character that pushes stuff away. Like she ignores problems.
Well, I think like I think it kind of speaks to the day, like the day after the revolution, after you've won, is that like she's kind of still in that mode of like she's like
Yeah,
kind of aggressive and like needs to do something, and finding her brother's killer is top on her list.
that's true. Like if you need to put that energy somewhere, that's a pretty good place for her to put it,
Yeah,
from her perspective. Let's focus in on Kathleen. Should we, instead of going chronologically, should we just be like, let's talk about Kathleen and just get all her stuff out? Or
we can.
I don't know. She has a couple good scenes in this show. There's a scene where she goes back to her childhood home, um, and she talks about how basically they solidify the connection she has with her brother and everything. Maybe jumping out of order is not a good idea because
Let's keep on doing chronological then.
let's keep doing chronological. Okay, because it's true. All this sort of, it's weird. They have different characters, but they're all doing different things, but it's the same theme, which is great. I mean, that's how entertainment works, right? Um, so we see the doctor from the last episode, and he's giving supplies to the brothers, and this is this is one of the big themes, is that the doctor points out that Sam is scared because Henry is scared,
Yeah,
and Henry distracts. He brings out a bag of crayons. Now
a lot of crayons.
they're like they're not making uh, certain things anymore. They're certainly not making crayons anymore. So that's a 20-year-old bag of crayons.
I mean, crayons are good for a really long time.
Crayons are great for a really long time, but a bag of crayons that you're traveling around with, that's jostling and whatever and
I
being
mean,
used on the
they're not in
regular.
mint condition, but they're still good. They'll still put marks on paper.
Look, I'm not. Look, crayons are perfect and will last forever and are good in any condition. But that bag looked. My point is just that that bag looked pristine, and I have children. That bag should look a mess. It should be dusty and gross. And but he,
Especially since like we know they're not making new bags, so like they're reusing
right?
that same bag.
Joel's like, dump out the crayons, give me that bag. And this is what Henry does throughout the episode: is he either distracts Sam from what they're really going through, or he does lie to him to protect him uh, from what's happening, which is tough. It's a tough thing to do. We see other characters doing that too. We'll get to that, as we'll point it out as we go. So it's 10 days later. We're getting closer to present, but we're still in the past. Um, he tells him no one's coming back and we have to leave. And then he paints a mask on him. Takes orange paint and he paints a mask on him. He paints so he looks like one of the characters he's been drawing. What does he call him? Does Henry call it Super Sam?
I
And
think
Sam's
it's
like, no,
Super Sam. Yeah,
it's a super. Okay. Uh, I gotta say the mask looked great. I couldn't believe it.
I
Like
mean, for like just like like dabbing orange paint across his eyes.
insane. Like, like, like I went to art school. I'm an artist. I've worked with all different kinds of paint, and like it's gotten on my hands and stuff, and it never looks that good. Like, did he put some powder on first to make sure it laid so well? I don't know. This whole episode is not going to be about art supplies, but I was very impressed with the quality of paint and that it went on so smooth. But yeah, so he's got that mask on for the rest of the episode, right? Or is he doing
Definitely,
touch ups?
they definitely have it on up until they meet um, Joel and Ellie, because in the previous episode, um, Sam is holding a gun to Joel, and he like the shot of him is he still has that mask on. I don't know the next day if he still has it on, but
It would be hilarious if the whole time he's just like touch up, touch up, touch up. Um, it's in this scene we get one of our first window watch moments. We see Henry looking out the window to see if things are safe, and we see this a couple times, and he's basically charting the comings and goings. And when it's time to leave, he says, "I know their patterns. I know how to get out of here." Um, so they go. They decide to go, and they happen to do it just as a truck is driving through the window of a laundromat. And they look through a window to see that happening. And he sees the shootout, and they they do they focus in on Joel and everything, so he's making a connection with him. Do you think I as I was watching that, I thought, oh, is he seeing Joel as danger or as an ally? Um, because
Well,
if I saw that, even if he was killing people that I hated, I'd be like, I still don't want to go near that guy.
well, I mean, we find out a little bit later that that Henry has never killed anyone. So like they have guns, no ammo. But like he's like, well, like he just killed one of Kathleen's men. He's like, well, Kathleen's probably gonna be after him too, so like maybe we'll get out
Oh,
together.
that's true. That's true. When they finally meet in the is it the next scene even? Uh, when they finally meet, he does say as he introduces himself, he says, "I'm the most wanted man in Kansas City, and maybe second after you now, since she's after you too." But we are back in the point where we left off, and they meet, and Henry kind of comes off like a rookie. He's like, "I don't know what the next step is in all this," as they're in a standoff. They got guns pointed at each other, and Joel says something, and Henry takes it as aggressive, and Ellie's like, "No, that's just his asshole voice." In the game, does Joel have different kinds of voices? Does he?
No, he
No,
is like it is one tone with him basically.
that's really funny. So he's the most wanted man in Kansas City. Yes, that was a good scene. It's a good meet cute. Henry introduces himself as a collaborator. Now, Joel recognizes this right away, and not just as like I understand what the word collaborator means, but he understands it to mean that he's a rat, that
Yeah.
he turns people in. And it got me thinking about the show. Like even later in this episode, people say clickers, people say infected, or whatever it is. Yeah, infected.
Yeah.
So there is terminology that everyone uses. It's not like in The Walking Dead where everyone has a different name for the walkers, and
Yeah.
none of it's zombie.
Well, I think at least in what we've seen in this world is that like there is some communication because even Joel even mentions like he's heard about the Fedra in Kansas City. Like he's heard like rumors at least of like how terrible they are. So like they have some sort of communication, and we know that because he's like Joel has been getting communications from his brother, and then they stopped. That's what kicked off basically this entire trip for him.
But in a world where people are just communicating through like telephones or radios or even letters, language wouldn't have a big impact like that. I feel like you'd have to have it would have to be something people watch on TV or listen to on the radio every day, where everyone's calling it that. Of course, I say that though, but language has existed for years, and stuff caught on. And but the fact that they're all using the same terminology surprised me, especially the word like collaborator, which is like it's loaded now. It's not just a word that means I work with somebody. It means
Well,
you.
well, I think I feel like Joel has probably like been on the other side of like a collaborator before, so like he like that's a loaded word for him. I mean, he calls him a rat, so
Yeah.
like obviously it's not great for for Joel. And especially for the things that like we like they've either like mentioned that he's done or like kind of alluded to what he's done in the past. Like he's not been a great person. So like he's probably wary of people who would be rats or collaborators. So like um yeah.
Detective Joel to trust no one. He sees everyone and trusts no one. They agree to get out of the city together since they're both going out. Since both groups are both leaving at the same time.
Oh, before we get on to
Yeah.
the next scene though, like I believe it is in that scene that we could actually figure out which part of Kansas City they're in because
Shut up! Really?
well, Henry draws a map. He's like
There's a
we're
map.
surrounded by these highways.
They got the highways, but you know what just occurred to me? Oh wait, no. I was going to say the St. Louis Archers is there, but you know why? It's in St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. They didn't move it.
That's a top break day.
They were going to. They had to cancel those plans.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we have the ability to find out the answer to our lifelong question. Is it Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City, Missouri that they go to in The Last of Us? We have the information we need, but we refuse to look it up.
I mean, so like after he drew that map, I was like, oh, let me look this up, and
You did look it up. Okay.
I googled Kansas City. I think it was Kansas City, Missouri, and then I was like, what were the highways that he mentioned? And I did not rewind,
Okay. See,
so I was like, moments passed.
great news, guys. We continue to be the worst. But on we go. They make a deal that Henry says, I'll show the way and you clear the way, which is a great deal because the person showing the way could be like, that way? And the person clearing the way is in charge of then making sure it's safe. So, but he does know the way. Henry knows the way, and it's the tunnels. Are the tunnels in the game, whether it's this part of the story or not?
So the tunnels are in the game. Like a lot of this is straight from the game. Um, the tunnels where we find like a settlement
Okay. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. In the show.
in the
Yeah.
show. Well, we also find a settlement in like or an empty settlement, I should say, in the game as well. Some there's a thing that they couldn't do in the show that they did in the game, which is kind of great. So in that like school area, there were like drawings from children, and I don't know if you noticed, but there's a drawing of like two guys that kind of look like policemen, like they're in like
Yes.
riot gear.
Yeah. And it says the art, something basically identifies them as the protectors or something, right?
Yeah. So like there's a story that you can kind of discover uh in that section of the game through the little like notes that you pick up. Um so if you pick up all of them, you find out that one of them is named Ish and the other one's named Danny. Um
Okay.
so like they were the protectors of this like underground settlement in the game. And it's actually told kind of reverse chronologically because
Okay.
as you are like entering in through the tunnels and then like exiting out the other side, you're basically like walking back through the progression of like what happened.
Oh, interesting. So you see the aftermath
Yeah,
and the
you know
destruction.
they're not there anymore, so something bad it happened, but you don't
Wow,
know like what happened. So, but as you pick up these notes, you find out what
that's
happened.
really cool. And so Ish and Danny, not so good at protecting.
So I'll start chronologically from the start. So
Okay.
like Ish was a fisherman.
The rhyming is helping. Go on.
Yeah. So like he stayed on like on his boat for as long as he could. Because he
Oh,
knew like he knew that the world was going to hell. So like he stayed in on his boat for as long as he could, and then when he ran out of stuff, he washed up on shore, or he like piloted his boat to shore, however we say that.
sail. No, it was a motorboat. He motored.
Yes,
He
he motored.
taxied. Okay.
He landed on
He
land.
uh he swam. He hopped out of the boat.
Yeah. So um he like it's Pittsburgh in the game, so like he's kind of like laying low in Pittsburgh underneath the city in the tunnels, and then he happens upon I want to say it's a family uh that doesn't shoot him right away, so he's like, oh, maybe they're okay.
Everything's all right.
So eventually, like he's like he says to this family, like, hey, these tunnels are pretty safe. You can come here and live because they had kids and whatever. Eventually, like he kind of like brought a bunch of people into the settlement, including Danny, who they kind of teamed up together to be their protectors. So they had this kind of like pretty decent settlement. One day, one of the doors was left open, and that's all it took.
Who
Nobody
was it?
knows. You don't know
Ugh,
because like it's not really mentioned in any of the notes. It just says that one of the doors is open. Like the infected got in, and like all hell broke loose.
oh no.
So yeah. So you don't actually know that you don't actually find out the fate of Ish and the group, like the small group that he was with, because um, like it kind of ends. You don't really know if he's still alive. He could be, but we don't know.
Really?
There are some other kind of dire things. So like at one point, like one of the notes says like it's told from the point of view of like one of the adults, and he's got a group of children with them, and like they're locked in a room with the infected trying to get in. Um, and he says something to the effect of like, "I'll have to make it quick." So
It's a sad game.
it is. It is a sad game,
One sad story after another.
but it's really cool finding out like kind of like piecing this all together, reverse chronologically, because you like when you go through the tunnels, like you end up where his boat like landed.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's neat. I try to picture them going through the tunnel, and Joel's like, "Hey, check this out. This is kind of cool." And they're like, "Can we get out of here, please?"
The tunnel section I will say is a lot longer than like they stay in the show, and like there's more combat. There's like
There's more combat.
you do fight infected in the tunnels.
Oh, so okay. In the show, they don't encounter them at all. Sorry, my dog. He hates this part of the show. He hates it. So in the game, you don't encounter the infected at all in the tunnels. They say earlier that the Fedra had pushed them down 15 years ago, so they've been underground for 15 years. But and in fact, like you say, they stay in the tunnels a long time in the game, but in the show, they actually wait there for a while. They
Yeah.
hang out in the schoolyard. They play a little soccer. That's where the bonding over the comics happens. Um, and Joel and Henry get a real nice one-on-one scene. And Henry tells the story of how he came to kill Kathleen's brother. And it was he talks about how he respected him and would have done anything for him, but he ended up having to choose to turn him in so that he could get medicine for his brother. So he chose Sam, his brother, over someone he really respected. And that's why this is all happening. And then they decide to leave. I have here in the notes, Kathleen goes back to her childhood home. She feels safe in the box. That's what her brother, whose name is Anthony, I think. I think she says. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. She said, but he would say these four walls are our box, and we're safe in the box, which is that's another place where someone's scared, and someone is lying to someone as a coping mechanism. Like it's the same thing that Henry does for Sam, like through the whole episode, where he says that everything's okay, and then everything's not okay. But the coolest thing in this part was she talks about how important he was, but then her number two says that he didn't change anything. You did. You, Kathleen, did. And he says, we're here with you. So she's the one that made the revolution successful. But she changed it from being angry. Like,
Yeah.
it was like change out of anger, not out of like
An ideal.
people uniting together to do the right thing. She's just angry. She's full on revenge, and that can't be good, right?
But it kind of brings up a point, is that like, is that what was necessary for the change to happen? Like
Right.
just
She got results. Yeah.
yeah. Like
And her brother couldn't.
yeah, because as I like we don't know much about her brother other than like what we're told, but like um he might have been like idealist, and like he may not have gone as far as what Kathleen did, but like the death of the brother uh could have been that catalyst where it kind of flipped a switch in Kathleen to take it further than her brother would have.
And it's what they needed to take back Kansas City and hold it for 3 days.
I mean, I think it's like 11 days, because that's how much food they had, Henry and Sam had, at least.
No, but that was 10 days before the present day, right?
No, but I'm saying like yeah. So like when Henry and Sam go into hiding, that's the night of the party,
Oh,
and then
you're right. You're right. It's not like Joel showed up on Revolution Day.
yeah,
You're right. So almost 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Ellie tries to invite them on their journey, but everyone's hesitant, and then they hear gunshots. This is as they're walking out of the tunnels, they're walking down the street, and there's gunshots coming from window watch, a window. Who's in that window? Is it anyone from the game? Do we know?
So the it's a little bit different in the game. So like that section it happens in the game. There is a sniper that is shooting at them, and Joel does have to like sneak up on him and like take him out. The interesting fact or the interesting difference here is that um, like in the game he's just another one of the like revolutionaries or like raiders or whatever.
Right.
He's not old.
He's not an old blind man. Like this guy was never gonna hit them. Like he was missing all his shots. Joel gets there and he says, um, "Throw me the gun and look at." Or I think he says like, "Sit and look out that window for an hour,
Yeah,
and
that's
we're
all you have to
good."
do, and then
That's
we're
all you
out.
have to do. Yeah. And the guy makes a move, and Joel. I don't. Do you see him shoot him, or you just hear the shot? I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't think you see the shot. I think you may. I don't know.
What I'm sure of is he shoots him and then goes over to him with a knife and really makes sure he's dead, just like Joel would do. But it was cool because Joel really did not want to kill this guy.
Yeah,
Uh,
but I think the guy really wanted to die.
yeah, he's like, I'm tired of being the watch of the South End. I can't see nothing. There's tons of great moments in this scene. Even right before it, Joel says to Ellie, "Do you trust me?" Because they have a disagreement about what they should do, whether he should go to get the guy. And she does. She says, "Do you trust me?" And she does trust him, and it works out. And then, um, what is it? All right, Joel gives Anthony a chance. This guy's name is Anthony. We find out on the radio, but he has to kill him. And then we find out that they're coming. Like they
Yeah,
know where Joel and Ellie and Henry and Sam are, and Kathleen and her goons are coming to get him. And in comes the run truck. I love the run truck. It's a
yeah.
beautiful truck that says "run" right across the front.
The run truck like features prominently in the game. You get chased by the run truck
Is that
like
right?
through the city. Yeah,
That's pretty cool because it's graphically pleasing, and every time you see the run truck enters a scene, it's a really dynamic shot, and it looks totally cool and knocks everything over. Um, and I don't even know how to handle this scene, but like they come and they corner the people, the kids,
yeah. And
and
Henry.
right, and then this is where Kathleen says, maybe he was supposed to die. She points out, she's like, I know why you did it. You chose Sam over my brother. Um, but maybe Sam was supposed to die because Henry's
Yeah,
like, oh, he was gonna die, and then Henry's like, he was just a kid, and she says, kids die.
die all the time.
Kids die all the time, and I mean, she's right. Kids die, but I mean, she lost me there. Like I was like, oh, like I can't. No part of me is rooting for you now. Like the
Yeah.
humanity was not there.
Well, I mean, like I don't know. I don't necessarily side with Kathleen, but I like I see her point because like and like I see Henry's point as well. And what I think the show does better than the game, especially in this section, is kind of like have like realistic conflicts. Like they're like not necessarily like I want maybe like less manufactured conflicts because um like Kathleen has a point in that like kids die all the time. Um Sam has leukemia, I think they mentioned,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
which in this world he's gonna die like eventually. Like it's only a matter of time. Um, so like I see her point. Like I see Henry's point, and of course he wants to save Sam. Like it is his brother. It's his reason for living, as we will find out a little bit later. So like it sets up a really interesting conflict. Um, like they're both right, and neither of them are right.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no like right answer in this conflict. It's just
There's
a
no
thing
easy
that happened.
solution.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's one of my least favorite phrases, but it is what it is
yeah,
in this situation. Or yeah, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't quite apply as much as I think it does. But the ground bubbles because the ground in Kansas City is angry,
Oh,
and
so the run truck runs into a house first, and that's
uh,
what softens the ground, I think.
is it really? Okay,
Yeah, because
it's true. The ground starts to bubble, and everyone turns around like, "What the what?" And the truck does to tip in and fall down, and then like somebody kicked a beehive. Like they
yeah,
all come running out. It's crazy. Um, it's a swarm of them, and these are clickers and infected,
yeah,
and they're just attacking everybody, and everyone's shooting back at them. There's great choreography between Joel and Ellie in terms of like he's tracking her, and he sees what she sees, and he's helping her get there, and making sure that she and the boys get there safely. They hide in the car. A clicker baby comes in there and attacks them.
like I like that clicker baby was
Whew,
amazing. Like
so
because
good.
like she climbs in and then does a flip over like
She
in the
was
back
a
seat.
right on. She was a gymnast clicker
Yeah,
baby. Like she was a bendy contortionist gymnast clicker baby. Is that the same clicker baby that ends up killing Kathleen in a few minutes?
I think so. I don't
Yeah.
know for sure because they kind of all look the same to me. But
Oh my god. Why does racism still exist in a world where I mean it's always going to exist because the world sucks now.
um,
Uh,
but we like we kind of glossed over the first appearance of a bloater.
well, no, doesn't that happen after, or
No,
it
it had
doesn't
like
happen right away, does it?
so he comes out. I'm assuming it's a him. Can't really tell. They come out.
They we don't want to misgender. Like however they identify.
Yes. So like all the infected and the clickers like come out and like it kind of like climbs up like slowly because it's giant. Like it is much bigger than the other infected, and like it just like kind of like um slowly lumbers towards people and like I don't know if you noticed the one death that we see the bloater do.
Clean. It's a clean break. It's a clean like like a laser cut.
So like that's a death from the game. Like if you get caught by
Oh
a
yeah.
bloater, like, this is how you die.
Sorry,
Uh,
my dog hates bloaters. Everyone knows this. My dog, his name is Mayo. You're gonna if we talk about bloaters, he's gonna bark. It's okay, Mayo. They're not gonna get you. Go
I mean,
ahead. They would
so
get
like
him.
yeah, if they catch you, like uh, they put one hand on the bottom of your mouth, one hand on the top of your mouth, and then they
Oh.
pull.
Oh, what is that? It's like a that should be the name of something. Like a double fish hook or
I don't know.
like a like a giant monster curb stomp. I don't know, but they okay. So he does that to Kathleen's number two,
Yeah,
um, who
R.I.P.
seems honestly who seems like a good guy. Like he says to Kathleen, "You keep running, don't look back. Tell my story." I don't know if he says that, but he should because we didn't get a lot of his story. But yeah, the bloater. That's what we see him do. We see him rip the head. Does he get any other action that I missed after that?
No, I don't think
Or
so. I mean, technically, it's not the full head. It's just like from the
yeah,
jawline up. I guess
yeah,
like
yeah.
his the bottom mandible is still attached to the body.
His tongue is probably still flapping around at the top of his tongue is the tallest part of his body now. Mayo, settle down.
I mean, it is a lot of bloater talk. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. The whole bloater. I told him before the show. I was like, listen, man, we're gonna talk about bloaters. Just be chill. Mayo, be calm. It's okay. You're okay. Can we just time out for a minute? Mayo, come here. Up, 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 up. You want up or no? You gonna sit? Be a good boy. Thank you, thank you. Be good. Well, here comes Maisie. We got to pause for Maisie too. I'm recording, so hurry.
Sorry.
You're stomping around up there, causing trouble.
Sorry.
It's all right. I love you.
Yeah.
It was Mama Jack.
No, it was.
It was Jack.
I don't
All right. Hurry up. Get your water. We're right at the end too. Can we just pause? We can pause until.
Yeah,
Is that cool? Like
yeah. Like I'll cut all this out.
this is all the 40-minute mark, kind of. How was your day?
It's all right. I'm futzing with YouTube now. Like, I'm like, oh my god, like so many. Like, I was gonna upload the first episode and like publish it, but then like I uploaded it and it's like, oh, you can't put links in the description yet because you need to verify. So I had to verify, and then
Yikes.
I upload like, but it takes like it takes some time for that to um like take effect, I guess.
Sure.
So I had to wait for that, and then when that happened, like I checked the end screen and like there's a box, there's a like active box where I can put the thing, and like the design had like the next video like the next video is here, and like the box extended here. I was like, ah, so I had to do all that again.
Is it up now though?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Time back in. All right. So the bloater, he bloats. It's great. We don't get any more bloater action per se. Does he show back up in the series? Like, do we see him again later on down the road?
I think it might be the only appearance of the bloater in the first season at least.
Okay. What's strange is that we are quickly approaching the end. Like it flies by, but like they are gonna see Tommy soon, so it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. So Kathleen dies. The infected swarm the revolutionaries, and our favorite people quietly sneak away, and a great ending to an episode, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
the good guys win.
so before we get to like what I think is the next section, like when you were watching this the first time, like were you expecting like it to be Ellie and Joel and Sam and Henry for the rest of this, at least another episode? Like,
Yes, at least. Like they're like, yes, I will go with you on this journey. I'm excited.
yeah,
Even as Henry agrees to that, you kind of feel like, oh, Joel's gonna wake up and they're gonna be gone. Like they're gonna have left. But then Ellie and Sam have like the craziest scene ever, where they talk about being scared, and they do it all almost exclusively on a what do you call those?
I don't even know what they're called. Like it's like a
You write something, and then you lift up the
yeah, the
thing,
film
and
and an
then it's
eraser.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, magic writing thing, which I can't also would not work 20 years
I
later.
was gonna call it an etch a sketch, but it is not an etch a sketch.
Can you imagine if they were having that
Oh
conversation
my
on an etch a
god,
sketch?
it will take
Like,
so long.
wait a minute. It would take forever. Um, and he's like, "Are you ever scared?" And Ellie says, "Do I not look scared?" And he says, "Never." And she says, "I'm scared all the time of scorpions." And then she says, "I'm scared of ending up alone." Um, and then Sam says, "If you turn into a monster, is it still you inside?" Which is something you brought up.
Yeah, it's
I think when we talked about the first episode, even like it's going to be a reoccurring theme, like consciousness. And Sam is definitely thinking about that. Why is he thinking about that?
I mean, we find out that in the scuffle he has been bit in the leg.
He's scared, and Ellie shows him her bite on her arm, and to
Well,
calm him. Go ahead.
I think it gives it probably one to kind of say like it's not necessarily the end for you. Like I've
Sure.
been bit
Yeah.
before. Like you can see it. Like you might not turn, but also to what she says later.
Do you see this as a case of her lying to him, like which is the theme I was talking about earlier? Like she's lying to him to make him feel better.
I don't know because she is still relatively young and she doesn't know how her, for lack of a better term, powers work. Like her immunity. Like for all she knows, like she could like it could be her blood. It could be just like
Yeah.
like kind of like the Hulk She Hulk thing where like a transfusion would help.
Yeah.
Which is what
She
she tries.
definitely doesn't. That's what she tries to do. It's the craziest thing ever. Like I can't imagine getting to that point, like where I was like, oh yeah, sure, let me just cut myself and rub some of that on the open wound. I was like, oh, they're gonna become like blood brothers, but no, she's like hand to leg. Really beautiful scene. Um, and I think he ends it by saying, "Will you stay up with me?" And
Yeah.
she says, "Yes." Another lie because she falls asleep.
Yes.
Another lie to tell people so they're not scared. She wakes up and Sam's sitting there, faced away from her. She goes over to him and It turns out he has turned, and once he's aware of her, he attacks. She screams. Joel and Henry rush in. Why don't you want to run down the last bit?
Yeah, so it's heartbreaking because like um Ellie is attacking, or Sam is attacking Ellie, and like they kind of stumble into the room where Joel and Henry are in.
Oh
Joel
yeah.
immediately reaches for a gun.
Yeah, Joel knows
Uh,
what's up, and Henry does too.
Henry like does he kick it away, or does he? I can't remember what he does, but like
Does he get in first or okay?
he stops Joel from getting the gun, and he's got a gun now, and like it's
Like
kind of a
he shoots to keep Joel away, even
yeah,
like Joel's coming towards him, and he shoots the ground to
yeah.
get him to go back.
Um, and like it's kind of because Joel wants to kill Sam at this point because like it's his job, it's his duty to now, it's his purpose to protect Ellie, and Ellie's in danger. It is Henry's purpose in life to protect Sam. So like he's trying to keep Joel off of Sam. And I
Yeah,
think in a moment of like almost instinct, and this would be in the show the first time he's killed anyone, he shoots Sam almost on instinct, I think.
you think it's instinct and not like him, like saying like this is what I need to do, and I need to be the one to do it, sort of thing, or like because he does seem surprised. Like afterwards, there is almost like a "what have I done" sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that,
but I just I shy away from the phrase instinct or the term instinct because he's never killed anyone before. Like, why would he have that instinct? You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel like it's maybe not like instinct, but like a natural reaction, maybe like
Yeah.
because like they had been presumably like attacked by the infected before, and like um instinctively he wants to protect himself. And I don't necessarily know if Sam makes any movement towards them, but like um he can't anymore because he shot him.
That
Henry
could
shot him.
be. Yeah. I do like it better if he's doing it because he feels like it's his responsibility to end it for him. To like and put somebody out of their misery is the wrong thing, but
Yeah,
he's
but
responsible for Sam, and Sam is now an infected, and I don't know. But after that, I was like, oh man, that's so sad. Henry's going to be upset about this for the next 3 or 4 episodes at least. Can you imagine? But still, a great place to end the episode, right?
I mean, it would have been,
Great.
does not end there.
It would have been great. But Henry has a oh, what have I done moment, and Joel sees that he's going to do it, but
Like
and
almost
tries to stop him.
immediately.
Yeah, and he just turns the gun on himself and kills himself, and it's like it's a real wow moment. It's a great way to end this sort of double episode. Terrifying. And then we've been going so long on this, but just to wrap it up quickly, they take the time to bury them, which is awesome. Because I would be running away from Kansas City as fast as I could, but they are like they take what must have been at least 2.5 hours to dig a hole and bury them. Um, and Ellie writes, "I'm sorry"
Sorry, yeah.
on the board and puts it down as a grave marker. Um,
So I
and
guess one of the other differences from the game, so obviously Sam isn't deaf in the game, as we mentioned before, but there's a part of the game where like uh, as Joel and the whole group is like going through the city, they happen upon like a toy store in the game, and like Sam picks up this like robot, and Henry's like, no, we only take what we need, like or like what we need to survive. Um, and we find out later in the scene in the I think it's in like the scene with Ellie and Sam in like that he's taking the robot like behind Henry's back.
is it a
Um,
noisy robot that draws attention?
it is a noise. I think it is a noisy robot, but that's not like really what happens. Like that, like soon thereafter, like he gets infected and then he gets killed, whatever. So like, Ellie puts the robot on Sam's gravesite instead of
That's really
the
nice.
whatever we call it.
Yeah, that's nice too. Both nice. Oh man, you telling that story made me think of Quiet Place. Somebody dies because they steal something they shouldn't steal.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Good movie. Check it out. That's the end of the episode. I have some questions for you.
Yes.
What was the most video game moment of this episode?
I mean, there's a lot of video game moments in the episode. I think it's the whole like thing, the traveling through the suburbs with the sniper, like having Joel like kind of like sneak around and like he does it much quicker than I did in the game. Like it probably took me like probably like 30 minutes to do. He does it in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes of screen
It's
time.
like that old guy couldn't even see him. How would you want to die in this episode? We've got a few options. Number one, with a bullet, the baby car clicker slash gymnast slash contortionist. I mean, that's a way to go.
Yeah.
She was terrifying and adorable at the same time. Click, click, click. Number two, bloater rip. Just a clean, just rah. Just clean and quick and tell my story. Or the third one, do you want to turn into a monster and have the person you love the most in the world put you out of your misery?
So of those three,
Yes.
probably the least painful is turning into a monster and having your loved one shoot you in the head.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. But Sam was so scared.
Yeah.
He spent the end of his life scared.
But like I can't imagine the feeling of having your top half of your skull ripped off the bottom half of your skull.
Yeah, but you're dead like right away. It's quick. It's a quick death.
And getting torn apart by a baby clicker does not sound fun. So like it's like a bunch of like tiny little knife cuts, I think.
Right. And baby teeth aren't sharp. They can't cut through stuff. Little fingernails can't do anything. This was a good episode for Window Watch, though. We had 3 sightings, and it was a great episode overall. I feel like I'm turning into a broken record, but these are great episodes.
Yeah, definitely an action-packed episode, especially like considering what. Well, no, that was pretty. I was thinking like 2 episodes ago with Bill and Frank, which was not as much action, but like a great story.
Oh, the fence, please.
I'm saying not as much. I'm not as much.
Oh,
like there's a lot of action in this episode.
All right, don't spoil anything for season 2 or the second game for me, but you can tell me this one spoiler: does the fence show up?
I mean, there are fences all over the place. It's not the same fence.
Come on. All right, looking to the future, the next episode is season 1, episode 6. Kin referring, I mean, superficially or on the surface to Tommy. Tommy's showing up. I don't know what the other kin is, but geez, I'm trying to remember what happens next. There's like the law thing, the thing at the lodge with the fire.
Oh.
There's the town with the garage hiding, and
I feel like I can probably like in my mind knowing having watched through the original season and like knowing the game, I can probably figure out what the order of the episodes is because we have like 4 more left, right?
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah,
those are 4 numbers.
I can definitely figure out like
just for funsies. You want to break it down?
So we're doing spoilers for the entire series.
The whole series.
Okay. Next episode we find Tommy. Let's see. I think we like the episode after that is a flashback episode.
Sure is.
The episode after that, would be 8th episode is the fire that you're talking about.
It's fun.
And then the last episode.
I forgot about that last thing. Oh my god.
Last episode is the grand finale.
Oh my god, that's a great episode.
I mean, like big spoilers, I guess, because I didn't really say anything.
When does we shouldn't even be talking about this, but I'm very curious about when. No, we'll talk about it another time.
All right.
Let's end it.
Well, I mean, before you ended, do you have your donut?
I didn't. I forgot today.
Oh,
I got to
go out by myself. I want to have this by myself.
Phil, don't talk while you eat a donut. It's disrespectful.
We're taking the donut. I'm taking the donut at least today.
Yeah. I'll take it later.
And I guess that's episode 5 of The Last of Us Rewatch.
We did it.
Join us next time for episode 6, where we see Tommy again.
Can't wait.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
you guys later.